speaking of driving in, how about this? Whoop. Little flyover to get your blood boiling here on opening day. The balloons off into the mile-high sky here at Coors Field. And the Reds, the opposition. Let's take a look at the lineup. Brought to you by the Rocky Mountain News. Reese, Larkin, Griffey Jr., 399 home runs. Bichette, he's done well here. Then Young, Taubensee, Boone, Tucker, and Paris. Rolando Arrojo on the mound for the Rockies, and the first pitch of the 2000 home season is a strike.
That's the biggest thing I think Rockies fans should get used to, is the strikes coming from the starting pitchers working ahead in the count, and Arrojo does a lot of that and does it very well.
Two strikes on Pokey Reese.
You look at Arrojo, you'll see a fastball, slider, curveball, and a changeup, all from different angles. He's a big game pitcher too. 180 and 60 lifetime in Cuba, 10-0 in international play.
Comes sidearm and a little bit high and wide, 1-2. Arrojo saying through an interpreter that he feels confident with big crowds. The bigger the better as far as he is concerned. And that's the scouting report according to Marcel Latchman. And that's one of the reasons he got this opening day assignment at Coors Field. Again sidearm, and he strikes out Pokey Reese. So a good start for Arrojo and the Rockies at home. The defense behind Arrojo, and it's brought to you by Coca-Cola. In that outfield, Bragg, Goodwin, Walker. Hammond still not ready to go in left field. Cirillo back in there at third. Perez, look what he did last year. 53 straight errorless games. He's had 2 so far this year. Lansing and Helton on the right side, and Brent Mayne is behind the plate. Now here's Barry Larkin, the 10-time All-Star. Up and in, ball 1. Larkin right now with a 5-game hitting streak. George, the top 2 guys in this Reds lineup have really been doing some damage. Reese hitting 448, Larkin hitting 320.
Well, not only that, mix in the speed with it too. They've got 5 stolen bases between the 2 of them. The only other with a stolen base in their lineup, Ochoa, and he's not in it today, but 1 home run and 8 RBIs combined also with these 2. Reese, the hottest hitter. Arrojo able to handle him. See if he can handle the veteran Larkin.
The problem, Griffey Jr. is off to a sluggish start. So is Bichette. So is Dimitri Young. So they're getting guys on base. They're just not getting them home.
Well, that's the problem. You're getting the guys in the 3, 4, and 5 hole have not been able to produce with the slow start by Jr. Don't forget Sean Casey out of the lineup too. Last year, 100 RBIs.
Casey out on the DL with a broken thumb, in case you had not heard. Well, 3-1 here to Barry Larkin. Arrojo in his first start at Atlanta, the Rockies wound up winning the game. Line drive left field, base hit by Larkin. In that game, Arrojo went 5 2/3 innings, giving up 3 runs on 5 hits. Arrojo effective, and he comes at you from all kinds of angles.
Well, you're looking at Arrojo now from low home, and he does a nice job by Larkin to hang in on that slider on the outside half of the plate and able to just pull it out into left field. Now, Arrojo's slider will not fool you velocity-wise. It's not something that's going to break very quickly, but because of the angle of the delivery, it plays tricks with the right-handed hitters.
Well, here's Ken Griffey Jr., all the fanfare, going home to Cincinnati where he grew up, went to Moeller High School there. Said he wanted to get traded, and he really picked one club, Cincinnati. Well, he's back home, but hitting just 115. Fastball over at the knees, strike 1. 399 career home runs, though, for Jr. He is the youngest to get to that number, and he'll certainly be the youngest to get to 400. Just 30 years of age. Bouncing foul, 2 strikes on Jr.
Well, what Junior's finding out in the National League, a lot of times in the American League, when the pitcher would get ahead in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes, or no balls and 2 strikes, or even an even count at 2-2, he would see a lot of curveballs, sliders, changeups. Now in the National League, what he's seeing is a lot of fastballs with great placement, inside half, outside half. They don't go back to the same spot, and it's always been said, the National League more of a fastball pitcher's league. That's where I think some of the confusion for Junior was coming home. I mean, he's opening up in his hometown, and talked with his father today, and he said it's been somewhat distracting, but not all that bad. He's just been in a slump to start the season out.
Plus, he's wearing number 30. He wants to wear his customary number 24, but Tony Perez, that number will be retired by the Reds today. And Perez said, I don't know what the hubbub is about. They're going to retire my number. I'd like to leave it retired. Well, his dad, Ken Griffey, is turning 50 today. Happy birthday to Senior.
Joined the senior tour today.
1 ball, 2 strikes here to his son. Well, to tell you how good Ken Griffey Jr. is, he is on the all-century team. I think that's about says it all. High fly ball, right field, but playable for Walker. Walker's got it near the line. Larkin went halfway. He'll come back to first.
Let's go back yesterday. Remember the home run that John Shulock didn't get down the line? Now you watch Phil Cuzzy take off on this. Ball's hit. Watch your first base umpire. Look at him sprinting out to follow, and then home plate umpire Paul Scribner, he's out with him. There won't be any mistakes made on that call. The umpire's hustling the whole way.
Well, here's the return of Dante Bichette. Bichette not wearing number 10 anymore. He's wearing number 9. And, of course, not wearing Rockies purple. He is in Cincinnati red. But Dante Bichette, still a hometown hero here, and he says probably when his career is done, he'll be remembered more for his years with the Rockies than anything else. And why not? You talk about folklore. You talk about a guy that was a real hero here. It's Dante Bichette.
Well, if you look back at all of baseball, not just nationally, but all of baseball, for the past 5 years, Dante has been in the top 3 in hits and RBIs, and you put all that together with some of the greatest names in the game today.
Rojo doesn't care about the history right now. He's just trying to get him. A little bit low. 2 balls and a strike to Bichette. Bichette, as you know, has always hit well at Coors Field. In fact, lifetime here, he has averaged, get this, 359 at Coors Field. 359 average lifetime here at Coors. Overall for the Rockies in his 7 years wearing the purple pinstripes, Dante Bichette hit 316 on average with 29 homers and 118 runs driven home every year. The 2-1 pitch is right through there.
Yeah, that's the difference too. An American League pitcher on the mound now, and Arrojo, you've seen behind in that count, 2-1. A lot of guys in that situation, you'll see a fastball. Not from Arrojo, you see a sidearm slider.
Sign down from Maine, calling for a fastball. Then he goes to the slider. Now the curveball. Way outside with that curve, and it's a full count. Larkin will be running with 2 out. Bichette, 241 career home runs. We showed you the graphic where 110 of those have come right here at Coors Field. Well, a combination of Coors and Mile High. Bichette traded from the Rockies to the Reds in the offseason. Rockies picked up Jeffrey Hammonds and Stan Belinda in the deal. Hammonds has only played 1 game so far, out with the hamstring injury. Pop-up, drifting over near the stands. Lansing going out. The wind taking it over, and Helton will make the grab. So Arrojo works around the single by Larkin. Arrojo strikes out 1. He got Pokey Reese to start things off. The Rockies will hit at Coors Field for the first time this century. Now imagine the butterflies for Buddy Bell today. Not only managing his first game at Coors Field, but actually witnessing his first game at Coors Field. He's never been here before for a game. Down low to Tom Goodwin, the leadoff batter for the Rockies. Tom Goodwin hitting .259 so far this year. That home run, an inside the park home run in Atlanta. High fly ball, center field, but playable for Junior. 1 out for the Rockies in the first. Let's take a look at the Rockies lineup, and it's brought to you by the Rocky Mountain News. We just saw Goodwin. He is followed by Mike Lansing, who had a good series against the Marlins. Walker's struggling right now. Cirillo back in the lineup. Helton also great series against the Fish. Then Bragg, Perez, Maine, and Arrojo. Starting pitcher for Cincinnati is Steve Harris.
Fastball, slider, changeup, a good sinking fastball. Injuries have been a factor for Parrish. Missed a month last year. His first career start at altitude. He came in relief in the ball game that was won by the Reds 24-12. It's one you want to forget about.
He was the winning pitcher in that game, even though he gave up 3 runs.
Yeah, an earned run average of 9. 11-4 in 99. 21 starts. An alarming thing. The long ball. 16 home runs given up in 128 innings last year for Steve Parrish.
Parrish, a guy that's a veteran pitcher, but he spent a lot of time in the minor leagues and also on the DL.
Well, the injury part has really hurt him. He's had shoulder, elbow problems, and I think he's finally gotten healthy, and he's termed, as you said, a lot of times in the minor leagues, but a late bloomer at the major league level.
A strike to Lansing, and it's 1-1. Mike with 2 home runs in 1 game against the Marlins, hitting here just .217. He's had 2 really good games, and the rest has sort of been forgettable for Laser.
Well, at the end of the year, if Laser's hitting .217 and Walker's hitting .133 and Cirillo .167,
in trouble.
I'll be totally amazed.
Yeah, me too. I'll be amazed if they're anywhere close to that at the end of this homestand. Rockies with 3 against the Reds and then 4 against Mark McGwire and the Cardinals. Great way to kick off the home season. Packed today, full house at Coors Field for opening day. Off the fist, out to Larkin. He charges and fires, and 2 gone in the Rockies' first. Barry Larkin, a 3-time Gold Glover at short.
And the captain of this ball club, too, Larry Larkin. Very fundamentally sound at shortstop, able to come in, charge on the ball, and then a quick flip over to get Lansing at first base.
Well, Larkin, he's played short where Ozzie Smith reigned, and now Ray Ordonez. So the 3 Gold Gloves might be a bit misleading. The competition he's had for defense at short. Well, here's Larry Walker. We mentioned he's struggling in a big way right now. 0 for his last 13. Over the top of that one. The defense behind Parrish for the Reds, brought to you by Coca-Cola. That outfield, it's Tucker, Griffey, and Bichette. Boone and Larkin on the left side. Reese did pick up his first Gold Glove last year. Young at first, filling in for Sean Casey, and Taubensee is behind the plate. A new lumber for Larry Walker. Walker, right now, a little bit befuddled by his swing. He said, even a return to Coors Field, I don't feel comfortable at the plate. I'm very lost right now.
Well, think about it, though. He started opening day, 2 hits, and then took off a couple of days, tried to get his health back. He started in Florida, and his swing's still not where it should be or where he thinks it should be.
Walker, a guy, George, that came to the Rockies back in 1995 and a career .399 hitter here. The last 2 years, he's hit well over 400 at Coors Field.
To say that he likes the light air is an understatement. Of course, look at Dante's numbers, too. You know, I think with Dante this year, Dave Mornay, they meant to bring this up when he was at the plate, but for Bichette, I think he wants to prove baseball wrong. You know, prove the fact that it's not just Coors Field. I can hit a little
Sure. I think the same for Galarraga when he went first to Atlanta. And he had that great year for the Braves.
There's one thing about baseball, you can say all you want, but the numbers don't lie. You go out and put up numbers, people take notice.
Bichette with 2 home runs so far this year, but average-wise, not where he wants it. The 2-2 pitch to Walker is waved at and missed. So a good start for Steve Parrish as he gets Goodwin, Lansing, and Walker in order. We head to the second, scoreless so far from Coors Field. First look at Jeff Cirillo in a home uniform, manning the hot corner for the Rockies. Reds coming up in the second. No score here from Coors Field in the debut. Dimitri Young, Eddie Taubensee, and Aaron Boone, the scheduled batters for the Reds. Young filling in at first base for Sean Casey, who is still on the DL with that broken thumb. Young last year hit .308 with 14 homers. You can see he's off to a slow start. Good fastball from Arrojo, and it's 1-1.
Well, he was able to put those numbers up in only 373 at-bats. The year before, he hit 310, had 14 home runs, but 83 RBIs.
Bouncing ball, Perez. Plenty of time to get Dimitri Young one away here in the second. Visit bank1.com, the official online bank of the Colorado Rockies, to understand the other great American pastime, making money. One out in the second. Rojo now will turn his attention to Eddie Taubensee. Boy, how about the year Taubensee had last season? A .311 campaign with 21 homers, 87 runs batted in. He really came of age for the Reds last year and helped them to their strong finish. Taubensee, in fact, put together the best offensive campaign for a catcher since a guy named Johnny Bench back in 1974. Great foul, look out. One ball, two strikes to Taubensee. Broken bat blooper. Good one, can't get there. Nothing you can do about broken bats. And a single for Taubensee.
Build a fire. Let's look back at Taubensee. Now watch his hands move up and down, a timing device. See how they're moving up and down, and as the pitch approaches, he pulls back and locks in. That's got to be a relaxation thing for Taubensee to get his hands back in a hitting position. I don't remember that last year from Taubensee. It was more of his hands were pulled back in a hitting position earlier.
Well, it worked for him there, and he is aboard. Second single for the Reds, and here is Aaron Boone. In case you're wondering, is it related to Bob Boone? You bet, it's his son. Aaron last year put together his best offensive campaign. In fact, he was better in every offensive category. Hit .280, had 14 homers, 72 runs batted in. 2 strikes on Aaron Boone. Maine and Arrojo finally get the signal straight. Good pitch from Arrojo, and Boone's got to check the bat.
We talked about throwing strikes, how the starting staff, and I'm not trying to sell you a bill of sale here either. The guy right now, Arrojo's thrown 30, 20 have been strikes. So they're around the plate, they throw strikes, and with Arrojo, he's only going to be as good as his defense behind him. He had a lot of ground ball outs.
And there's a ground ball. Could it be 2? To Lansing for 1. The relay. Got it! Good relay from Perez, and then Lansing a strong throw to double up Aaron Boone at first. The double play helps out. The Reds then go 1, 2, 3. And we head to the bottom of the second in a scoreless battle. Now Jeff Cirillo will hit for the first time at Coors Field in a Rockies uniform. He's hit here before, but always wearing the uniform of the Brewers. We head to the second, but first reminding you what's on tap for us, brought to you by Budweiser. We will not televise the next 2 games of this series. Back here on Denver's WB2, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we don't have room for it, but Sunday as well. All 4 games with Mark McGwire and the St. Louis Cardinals. Darryl Kyle will pitch on Thursday night here. That ought to be interesting.
See how he handles it. He's off to a 2-0 start already with the Cardinals. A few runs the other night. Dave Veers was able to get the save in that ball game.
Here's Cirillo. Missed the last couple of games with a bad thumb, but back in the lineup. He said he's very disappointed so far this year. First the quad and then the thumb. Said the Rockies got me because I'm durable. And he said I've been anything but. I've been brittle so far.
That was a tough play the other day though, when he bent the thumb backwards in Florida. Strained some ligaments.
Said he's been in that trainer's room more in the first few weeks of this season than he was in the last 3 years. Outside, 2 balls and a strike to Cirillo. What Cirillo will give you is very good discipline at the plate. A guy that is a very good situational hitter. A guy that will be a gap hitter here.
Yeah, the Rockies hope some of those gaps turn into home runs, too.
A lot being made right now.
Five home runs here.
There's one in the gap. Told you he was a gap hitter. This one goes all the way to the wall. Cirillo, he'll go around second. Now pull up there. Well, that gives you an indication that Cirillo not 100%. He had to pull up between first and second, and now you'll check on Cirillo. You could tell he wanted to go to third, but he decided to pull up because he just couldn't do it.
Shows the power he has, too. This ball hit on a line out into left center field, and being a gap hitter, you would think the Reds would have pinched in, meaning the corners, Date and Tucker, would have pinched in a little bit to cut down the gap. Again, this is one of the new cameras, new features you will see right down the first base line. Ball hit right out into the gap, and you see him stumble a little bit as he went into the first base bag. I think a little more precaution than anything.
I do too. One of those new robotic cameras, huh? As long as they don't come up with robotic announcers, I think we're okay.
It was computerized.
Todd Helton, man, what a start for Todd Helton. 409. You know what's amazing? He says, I still don't feel real comfortable. I still haven't grooved my swing yet.
All good hitters say that. You go up to him, man, you're tearing the cover up. Well, you know, I'm still tinkering a little bit. I'm saying, tinkering? What are you changing anything for? Just keep swinging it the way you are. 409 average so far on the year.
Sprays it foul. 1-2 now to Helton. Helton, by the way, at least one hit in every game so far. Helton lifetime here at Coors Field has enjoyed things. A .369 career average here in his first 2 years. Good eye, 2-2. Helton has always struggled in the month of April in his first 2 years. In fact, a career .247 hitter in April. But shh, don't tell him. He's hitting .409.
Don't bring up the past.
Sprayed foul again. Another souvenir. Another foul ball. Well, the Rockies would like to get that Coors magic back again. It's kind of been lost in the shuffle the last couple of years. The Rockies, as you know, have remodeled their team. More speed, the most speed they've ever had in that outfield. Looking back at Cirillo. Barely got back in time, and then the ball doesn't get enough away from Larkin to go ahead and advance to third. Close at second.
Well, what that does too, you tighten up the lead of Cirillo now on a base hit into the outfield, make it tougher for him to score because now he'll be thinking about Larkin back there, or even Kofi Reese cheating over. See Cirillo now, he's looking over his shoulder and listening to Rich Donnelly at the same time. Well, he got a little bit shorter after the pickoff.
Another good eye from Helton here to take it and go to 3-2. Remember that at bat yesterday when he was down in the hole 0-2 and worked the lead walk and ended up scoring. Sprayed foul one more time. And Helton able to waste pitches until he gets one he feels like he can handle. bouncer to Reese. It'll move Cirillo over to third base. Helton is out, but Cirillo does get to third, and he's there with just one out. So Helton does the job by getting the runner over. That'll bring up Darren Bragg, another newcomer, with Cirillo on at third. Darren Bragg from the Cardinals. Hitting .286 so far. Inside.
Oh, and Helton at the plate. He made the out, but it was a 9-pitch at bat for Helton. Now that helps and will benefit the Rockies hopefully down as the course of the game progresses, because you obviously get the pitch count high for Paris. He'll be out of the ball game earlier.
The infield for the Reds is halfway up the middle. They're in at the corners. You can see both Young and Boone, the first and third baseman respectively, are even with the bag. And then up the middle, Larkin and Reese about halfway.
Well, if history serves our memories well here, you're going to say that, well, at Coors Field, how many 1-0, 2-1 ball games have you had? So make the play, get the out. The run scores, it scores. But if it's a hard ball hit directly at somebody at the infield level, then you can make the play to play. The Cirillo moves. It still allows you to get the play at first base and get the out.
Broken bat down the line, but foul. Bragg will need some new lumber. Bragg has seen a steady diet of pitches in on the fists.
He'll be one of the first 25,000 fans to come through the gates April the 14th and receive a commemorative lapel pin courtesy of King Soopers. This will be the first of 4 given away during the course of the season. Get your tickets for the Cardinal game on the 14th at any of the Coors Field ticket office, the Rockies dugout stores, King Super stores, or just by calling 1-800-388-ROCK or go online with ColoradoRockies.com. They're not wanting Bragg to extend at all, are they, Dave?
No, not at all.
Really working hard in. Back in there again.
That everything on the fist. Fist.
That was a tight slider from Paris. Now this is another one that you'll be able to pick up during the course of the year. The slow motion camera that we have behind home plate, a lot of times we'll be able to pick up the rotation of the pitch right out of the hand of the pitcher.
Super slow-mo, huh?
Yeah, I like that.
And robotics and super slow-mo. High technology at Coors Field. Bragg lifts it to deep right center field. Griffey and Bichette combine, and it's between them. Cirillo is able to walk on the double by Bragg, and the Rockies are on the board. George, it's almost as if Bragg said, all right, you're going to come in there, I'm going to look for it.
Well, they kept pounding him in, and I noticed as the more they went in, Griffey would shade more to left center field, and then Bragg pays him, makes him pay for it with a fastball on the inside half. You can look at the reaction of Paris. He drops to one knee, thinking this ball might be out of the ballpark. I'm not sure Bichette didn't think Griffey would have caught that baseball.
Now Perez squares to bunt, never really had any intent to do that. So Cirillo comes home, kind of shaking his head a bit, but the lead double pays dividends. He comes in on the double by Bragg. So 2 newcomers paying early dividends for the Rockies at Coors Field.
Base hit, the big RBI by Bragg.
Nathan Perez, slow start, 217 to start the year. And just 1 run batted in. He's had some opportunities. Foul ball, 1-2.
Well, Navy always complains about the cold weather, but going to Atlanta and Florida, it was awfully warm.
Sure was. Well, Atlanta was a little chilly, but not
One
bad.
night, it wasn't bad, 55, and then you come back here today at a beautiful day at 60 degrees. You wonder what part it played, too. He became a new father right at the end of spring training, traveling to the Dominican Republic, and then turning around traveling back to join the ball club.
Strike three called on Perez, who thought it was inside. Steve Parris with his second strikeout.
Look at the pitch from Parris. Good fastball. That's what he's worked on, that four-seam fastball. It won't run back across the plate. Shoulder close to allow the arm to get up on top a little quicker and feed the ball to that inside corner. It just froze Perez.
Now they're going to walk Maine intentionally and force Arrojo to hit. Well, Arrojo has already foiled the plans of the Braves with a similar tactic. He came up with an RBI single. His first major league hit, and of course his first RBI. So Maine will get the free pass, and Arrojo will try to help his own cause. Rolando Arrojo. In case you've not heard the story, defected from Cuba a few years back. He was with the Cuban national team playing in an international tournament in Athens, Georgia, getting ready for the Olympics. And at the middle of the night, he just walked out of his hotel room and into the car of Joe Cubas, his new agent and friend. And he was their top pitcher for Cuba. Fidel Castro called him a traitor. Eventually, his family joined him in the States. They are all living now in the Tampa area, including his mom and dad.
Well, and that's great that they're all able to get back together. His wife, a doctor in Cuba. Arrojo was making a grand total of $11 a month pitching for the Cuban national team.
And as a doctor, she was making $16 a month.
Well, with Arrojo, too, 180 wins in the Cuban uniform for their international team, and 10-0. Fidel Castro obviously very upset with the fact that he lost his best pitcher. He didn't like it. The fact that best big game pitcher, I should say, at 10-0 in international play.
Strike three. Arrojo strikes out on the 30th pitch of the inning for Parris. So it's Bragg. He comes through in a big way with an RBI double, and the Rockies take the lead. Colorado Rockies baseball is brought to you by AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts, and by US West Wireless, the simpler way to stay in touch. With George Frazier, I'm Dave Armstrong at Coors Field as we christen the stadium for a new century, a new millennium. 2000 season underway, and the Rockies have the lead 1-0 as we head to the third. Leading off will be Michael Tucker. Tucker with 2 home runs, 2 runs batted in, but you can see it's hit or miss with Tucker. 2 for 11, both of them round trippers. Tucker will be followed by the pitcher Steve Parris. Bouncing ball. Lansing's got it. 1 pitch, 1 away in the third.
And for Arrojo, he has been ahead of the hitters. 6 out of 8 batters that he has faced so far in this ball game has been strike one. And if you listen to Marcel Latchman and you say, what is the most important pitch in your eyes? And he'll say, strike one.
He is a one pitch at a time type pitching coach, isn't he? He doesn't look at the big picture. He just focuses in on, he says, the only thing you can control is that next pitch.
Well, so many guys today, and this is what Marcel's trying to train this pitching staff into thinking. And if I'm just visiting with him, this is what I read into it. So many guys get caught up with, okay, I've got this hitter, and this hitter. Instead of saying, all right, on the first pitch, if I throw this and it's a strike, then I'm going to go to this pitch. And worry about it from pitch to pitch. Don't worry about what hitter's up third or fourth down the road till you get to that guy. You may not get to him in this inning. And if it's in this situation, what pitch do you make there? So, I mean, he's trying to get him to really concentrate and think on the mound. And, of course, that goes along to work with Scott Service and Maine behind the plate, that they keep everything in sync with what they're trying to do.
Foul tip held by Maine. It'll be a strikeout for Arrojo, his second of the contest. Look in the Denver Rocky Mountain News for details on how you can get tickets to Cirque du Soleil coming this June right here to Denver. 2 gone in the third. We consider Arrojo. He pitched in the '98 All-Star game for the American League, and he pitched 1 shutout inning. So far, so good for Arrojo here at Coors Field in his first start at the corner of 20th and Blake. Ball one to Pokey Reese. Man, what a start for Pokey. His average down to .433. About a 7-game hitting streak. He has hit safely in every game so far for the Reds. That one hits it right up in on the elbow. Right on the elbow of Pokey Reese.
You get a look at it here. Now watch that front arm. You see Pokey take that stride, and the ball just ride right into him, and it looked like he caught him right on the funny bone. Let's see if it did. Right on the tip of the elbow, and it sure did. Right back at the bottom of that elbow. Everything goes numb for a while. Your hands, your fingers, to come back and work at it. You get a good look at it here from low home. That's nothing intentional. Maine was setting up on the outside half. The ball got away from Arrojo. It takes a few minutes to get everything back working again.
So he's all right. Get the feeling back somewhat in that arm again. Good news for the Reds. Pokey Reese, their fine young second baseman, stays in the ball game.
Well, one game's never enough. There's still some season tickets available on the lower level. Make sure you give a phone call to the Rockies for the 2000 season and get your season tickets today. Call 300 Rockies today for more information. 303 Rockies.
Okay.
300, Dale. I don't think I'll have them calling Idaho or something. No, call 303 Rockies.
Okay, we got it. I don't know if there is a 300 area code.
I don't think so.
Strike one to Barry Larkin, who singled his first time up. One of 2 hits for the Reds. They've had 3 base runners. Each team with 2 hits. The Rockies bunch theirs together in the second. The doubles from Cirillo and Bragg. By the way, in Atlanta, actually in Chicago, Atlanta's playing the Cubs at Wrigley, and the fairy tale continues. Foul tip. 2 strikes on Barry Larkin. The fairy tale of Andres Galarraga making that unbelievable comeback this year. He has hit his 4th home run of the season. Chipper Jones has his first. And the Braves lead the Cubs 3-0. That one in the 6th inning. I think they ought to just take that Comeback Player of the Year award and just already start to inscribe the name Andres Galarraga.
What's great about this pitch, 2 sidearm fast sliders, and come back with the heat right here on the outside corner. Looking at it with your US West high above home plate cam, and you'll be able to see it. That ball right on the outside half of the plate. Larkin unable to react other than just to fight the pitch off. Now see if he drops down sidearm with a fastball. He's dropped down 2 sidearm sliders and then a fastball up on top. The pitch out. You can drop down on that one.
Fired it in there.
A little high heat.
We were expecting Pokey to be running. He was not, obviously, and it's 1-2 now to Barry Larkin. When you look at Larkin's career, and it has been a very good one, as I mentioned, a 10-time All-Star. And you consider the contributions that he has made to his hometown. He went to Moeller High School, too. There was a time when Larkin said he wanted to be traded away from the Reds, but now he wants to stay right where he's at. And the Reds building for the future, and to build a new stadium. I expect to be in that in a couple of years. And Larkin likes the future of this team. Reese got a little bit too casual, and Arrojo, his 3rd time over to first base, they pick him off. Well, that'll add insult to injury, won't it? On this day in Rockies history, let's take you back to last year, April 10th. What a pitcher's duel between Kyle and Brown. at Dodger Stadium. 2 home runs decided the game. Kevin Brown was outstanding. Struck out Rocky batter after Rocky batter in that contest. Kyle matched him until Mondesi hit that home run. Well, we start the 3rd for the Rockies. We move to the bottom of the inning. Still 1-0 Colorado. It'll be Goodwin, Lansing, and Walker. 2 low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Still haven't really witnessed, except for the triple and the inside the park home run, the speed of Tom Goodwin on the base paths. And I say that because he hasn't stolen a base. Little blooper. Not where Goodwin wants to hit it. He is not trying to hit the ball airborne. He'd like to slap it on the ground somewhere and use those legs. So Goodwin, it's another fly ball to Junior. It's 0 for 2. Goodwin gone, and Mike Lansing the batter. Steve Paris giving up the pair of doubles in the 2nd and the run to the Rockies. Lansing rolled out to Larkin his first time up. Lansing now 32 years of age. Turned 32 opening day. A little bit high, a little bit wide. 2-1 to Lansing. Hard to believe this is the 6th year here at Coors Field. Man, time really flies when you're having fun. Check swing out to Young. Young will take it himself, and he didn't get there in time. He got casual, and Lansing beat him to the bag.
A great hustle by Lansing, and all he had to do was reach around and tag Laser at the time. Jack McKeon, he'll come out of the dugout. We'll have a discussion with Phil Cuzzy at first base to see what this looks like when he gets down there. And he's going to ask him, did he not get there beforehand? Now, you look right now, Parrish breaks. He could have tossed it. He doesn't. Could have tagged Laser. Tough call. Got it again.
Ooh. Tie goes to the runner.
Let's see. The Rockies are now, we got to weigh all these calls lately. He's out on this call here.
He's out.
Comes right behind it.
That angle showed it clearly. Lansing should be out, but Rockies catch a break. It's not a home run break. It's a single break, but it's a break nonetheless. Shouldn't have been close at all. Young could have either tagged, as you said, or hustled with the bag and gotten him easily, or flipped to Paris. Any of those 3.
He could have flipped it to Paris. Young has played first base a lot, but in the last couple of years, he's been in the outfield, and all of last year with Sean Casey. Again, that's just an easy flip up to Paris, or to reach over and tag Laser. But the break goes the Rockies' way.
Goes as an infield single for Lansing. Larry Walker struck out his first time up. You know, the last time Walker had a slump like this, and he's 0 for his last 14, it was midway through that 97 season. What did he do in 97? Oh, yeah, that's right. He won the MVP. No cause for alarm with Walker. You know eventually he's going to get that bat going. He has changed now to a different color bat. And with the white lumber.
Yeah, I think a lot of it with Larry is superstition.
Sure.
More than anything, he goes up with the red lumber, not a base hit. Go back, get a black bat, not a base hit. All right, I'll get a white bat. Somebody give me their bat. Who's swinging the bat well will give me his bat.
Little tapper out in front of the plate. Walker hustling up the line. Throw, not in time. Another infield hit. Boy, Young's reaction, they thought the Reds, Young especially, thought they got Walker too. Let's look.
You're looking at it again from one of the new camera angles that we're bringing you at home. Barris comes up, gets the ball, the throw to first. Watch and see. Now he's safe. The ball. Walker beats the ball on this throw. The ball will bounce.
Yeah, he's there.
He's safe. Good hustle by Larry Walker. That's nice to see. Applying more pressure now. Speed has taken it over. Yeah, sorry, Dimitri, you're 1 for 2 so far. You were right on the first count, but not on that one.
So much for the Blake Street Bombers. A couple of infield singles, and the table is set now for Cirillo. And that snaps an 0 for 14 for Walker. Breaking ball, strike one to Cirillo, who doubled his first time up.
Yeah, when was the last time you see the Rockies put an offensive threat out right now and have runners in scoring position and the ball hadn't gone 90 feet total?
Here comes Junior. Boy, that ball was moving away from him, and he had to reach out to make the grab. What a nice play by Griffey. Cirillo thought he had a hit as he shakes his head, and Junior made a terrific adjustment in midair.
I think the ball knuckled off of the bat of Cirillo. It's a slider down and away. You see the rotation. Cirillo gets it, drives it. You see Junior, he's running over thinking the ball was going the other way. The ball was knuckling, you know. You talk about if that ball gets by Junior, Cirillo can run for a wild 2 runs in.
Great play by Junior to rob Cirillo. Now Helton pops it up. The wind blowing it over the Reds dugout and well up into the seats. Helton bounced out to second his first time up. Chance for the Rockies to punch a hole in this one. That's justice, isn't it, George? And that's baseball.
Well,
you look at the hits by
right?
Lansing and Walker, and then Cirillo pounds the ball to straightaway center, nothing to show for it.
A line drive right at Griff. You just make a right turn. Just hate to see an opportunity like this, and we've seen it numerous times so far at this early season where the Rockies get men in scoring position and they're unable to get them across at home plate. But you've got a very hot hitter in Helton up right now. Hopefully he'll make it capitalize and get him up with a big base hit.
Side again. 2 balls and a strike to Helton. You can see, unlike Bragg, Paris pitching Helton away, away, away.
They want to go into that power and let him give somebody a souvenir in that upper deck in right field.
Find the seats, out of play. Count evens up at 2-2. 2 on, 2 out. A 2-2 count to Helton. Lansing standing at second. Walker's on at first. This one down the line, but hooking foul, and another foul ball. Helton with another long at bat.
In his first at bat, it was 9 pitch at bat before they got him out.
Paris already up to 59 pitches. 6 pitches so far from Paris to Helton in this at bat.
Well, and Todd's got to look at 15 pitches. Surely he's going to find one that he likes.
Moving inside, and again a foul ball. At this pace, Paris isn't long for this game. 20 pitches per inning, the average. Lansing fortunate to be at second. Fortuitous call at first base. Strike 3 called. Helton couldn't pull the trigger. Rockies got a break, did not take advantage. Dimitri Young frustrated, but it does no damage on the scoreboard. And as we head to the 4th, it's still 1-0. Time for a little Aflac trivia. Our trivia question today: how many left fielders have the Rockies had to begin a season? How many different left fielders out there? Remember now, Bichette played right once upon a time.
That was a major hint.
Well, hint. Larkin hits it airborne, right center field. Walker. And out court, he's got it. Wind holding the ball up a little bit to right center. Wind howling in over the rock pile and blowing in from right field. Oh, Rojo gets Larkin on 1 pitch. You can see the wind blowing in. Down on the field, really swirling. Down watching batting practice, and it felt like down there the wind was blowing out to right. Well, here's Ken Griffey Jr. Hit a lazy fly to right his first time up. Remember, his next home run will be an historic one, number 400 for him.
For Arrojo, you look at his career, his short career, a couple of years in the big leagues with 21 wins and 24 losses. But what's impressive about Arrojo is how he starts the ball games, and it's indicative today. He has yet to give up a run through 3. The fact the opposition hitting just .253 against Arrojo in the first 3 innings of a ball game, and as the game progresses, his trouble starts in the 5th or 6th inning.
Hit hard to left field. Flag going back, still going, gone. Ken Griffey Jr. has just hit his 400th career home run. So Jr. does it on his dad's birthday. That's some kind of birthday present. Career home run number 400, and even the fans at Coors Field have to stand and applaud.
Well, and you should. It's quite an accomplishment by a great young player. To get to watch this is his father, Ken Griffey Sr. This ball hit a long way the opposite way off the bat of Ken Griffey Jr.
So the youngest to 400 all time. 30 years, 141 days. Dante Bichette hits a foul ball on a play. Let's take a look at the list as Junior goes by Jimmy Fox, Mickey Mantle, Eddie Matthews, and Frank Robinson. And Hank Aaron himself says if there's anybody in the game who has a chance to break his record of 755 career home runs, it is this guy. They're telling us now it's the 4th time that Junior has given his dad a birthday present with a home run.
Just a little bit ahead of his dad's home run totals, 152. His dad was not a home run hitter through his career, more of a speed guy.
Oh, Junior with number 400. That's out of the way now for him. You consider, too, Junior now has 4 home runs in 22 at-bats at Coors Field.
Pretty good ratio, wouldn't you say?
Not only that, but Junior off Arrojo is now 7 for 12 with 4 home runs.
Well, before Junior so rudely interrupted me with his 400 home run, I was talking about Arrojo, how the opposition, first 3, 253. Then as he progresses 4th and 5th inning and 6th inning, the opposition hits 300. When he gets past that, into the 7th inning, they drop all the way back down again to 233. So Arrojo's trouble start as they get through the 2nd and 3rd time through that lineup.
Junior's home run, by the way, traveled 378 feet, but why don't we just round it off to 400 feet since it's his 400.
Can if you'd like.
Hit into center field. Good one going back. He's got a track now, and that'll do it. Reds are gone in the 4th, but not before they tie the game on this historic home run. Number 400 for Ken Griffey Jr. Well, Dante Bichette has noticed the new technology for us. Little RoboCam. No.
Yeah, he said, I've seen enough.
By the way, the guys operating, George, the RoboCams for us, John Wood, or we call him Woody, and Jeff Babish, we call him Speedy. So Woody and Speedy, they won the Nintendo contest, and they're able to go ahead and run our RoboCams from inside the truck.
Well, that's right. They're in a room actually right outside of the truck, in a little special room with their own TV cameras. And say hi, guys. And then they're able to watch and see and get whatever they want to do. And they're moving that camera around on the inside with a joystick. It's kind of fun to go back to. I went in and played with it before the game.
Oh,
it's kind of fun.
Did.
Yeah.
Stay away from the equipment, George.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, Looking at all the different angles.
That stuff costs a lot of money, George. Stay away
I
from
figure
the
if they let Woody touch it, I can touch it.
So that's one of two. The one posted there inside the Reds dugout, the other one right inside the Rockies dugout. RoboCam. Aaron Bragg, the batter. He's responsible for the Rockies run, but here he strikes out looking. 5 strikeouts now for Steve Paris.
Yeah, you mentioned it a minute ago. His pitch count's starting to climb to the 80s now, even though he's still showing the effects of throwing the ball very well. I think it's tough for him to come out here. The Rockies have an opportunity to jump on him.
RoboCam caught Bragg a little bit upset over the bad rack. Now Napi Perez. Now Perez struck out looking his first time up.
Well, I want to correct that pitch total very quickly with Paris. He's now at 65 pitches, 23 of those for balls, 42 for strikes.
I thought that was some of that new math applied to Coors Field. 65 pitches here is like 85 somewhere else.
Well, 18 of those pitches have been to Todd Helton.
Perez, it's a foul pop. Over for a look. Boone, he's got room. Now Perez struggles continue at the plate. He's 0 for 2 in the game and 2 quickly gone, and the Rockies 4th. Steve Paris, coming of age in his major league career, said he still doesn't feel necessarily like he belongs as Maine floats one out to left. Tucker's got that, and the Rockies go quietly and quickly in the 4th. 4 now in the books. 1-1 the score. We're going to answer our Aflac trivia question. Remember the question? How many left fielders have the Rockies had to begin a season? The Rockies have had 6. Clark, Johnson, Walker, Burks, Bichette, and now Bragg. 6 in 8 years. Bichette manning right field for the Reds here today.
Don't you think Bichette more comfortable in right field than he is in left field?
Yes, I do. But when you have a 6-time Gold Glove winner, Walker, you're going to put him in right. But Bichette will tell you that too, George, as Taubensee fouls it out of play. Taubensee is single his first time up. Bichette will tell you that he feels a lot more comfortable in right. He likes the angle of the ball coming off the bat better out there.
Well, a little less ground to cover here too. I mean, it doesn't look that way. If you look at the numbers, you say, well, no, a little bit deeper, maybe a little bit, but it's only 375 out into the gap here. It's 390 in left field. Less ground to cover in this ballpark.
Taubensee got that bat in the rocker, doesn't he? Bouncing ball, Helton's got it. He'll take it to the bag himself, and he'll race to the bag just to make sure. One out here in the 5th inning. Rojo's been effective, giving up 3 hits, that 1 home run to Ken Griffey Jr. Look at that, 10 of 15 first pitch strikes.
Well, more importantly, just here in the 5th inning, he's got 57 pitches. How many times last year did you see so many times guys get into the 5th inning with 90, 95 pitches in this ballpark?
Popped up to Perez. 2 quickly gone here in the 5th. Aaron Boone retired for the 2nd time. And they'll bring up Michael Tucker. Tucker bounced out to Lansing his first time up. You know, the Reds with that home run by Junior have now hit at least 1 home run in every game so far this year.
The lineup they have today, they hit 9 home runs, now 10 with Juniors. The Rockies line up just 4 home runs. I think a year ago, you would have probably looked at opposite numbers.
Oh, absolutely. Foul ball, 2 strikes on Tucker. Last year, the Reds, the best road team in baseball. In fact, one of the Cincinnati writers dubbed them the big road machine. They were 51-30 away from Synergy Field. Jack McKeon's club played great. Too high to Tucker, 1-2. First road trip for the Reds here, starting in Colorado with 3 against the Rockies, and then on to Dodger Stadium. Dodgers don't open their home portion of their schedule until this Friday.
Well, that's something.
Surprising with the weather they have there that they haven't started at home yet. Strike 3 call to Tucker. Down he goes. The Reds go quickly and quietly in order. And we are halfway through from Coors. Tucker, the 4th strikeout, and just 9 pitches for Arrojo in the 5th. Colorado Rockies baseball is brought to you by Original Coors. There's only one Mile High taste. By your Front Range AMCO dealers. Call 1-800-GO-AMCO. And by Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete. Watching a replay of Junior's home run to left field. His 2nd home run of the year and number 400 for his career. And you just got to tip your cap to one of the game's greatest players. Arrojo gives it a ride. Deep left. If it's fair, it's gone. It's a foul ball. Boy, did Arrojo put a charge in that one. Man, way up on Madeline Avenue.
I'll tell you what I like about Terry Kraft, the third base umpire. He tracked that baseball all the way down the line, followed it, waited for it to get over a foul pole, and when it was, you can see it is a foul ball, but close.
Arrojo making his bid for his first major league home run. Two balls and a strike to Arrojo. Fans still buzzing about that ball. A change at second base for the Reds defensively. Chris Steins has taken over for Pokey Reese. You remember that Pokey Reese was hit on the elbow by a pitch thrown by Arrojo back in the 3rd inning. So Reese has to leave with a sore elbow, and Steins is in there. Arrojo with a hit. That drops in front of Junior, and the Rockies have the lead man aboard in the 5th inning. This guy's some hitter.
Well, he swings the bat well. Thought he had a home run, then comes back. Really hangs in there well on the right-hander. But look at the pitch. Belt high, right down the middle of the plate. Says a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, but it got turned around in a hurry.
Arrojo was misplaced in the American League, wasn't he? And loves to hit. He's 2 for 4 on the year. Goodwin, the batter. Looking to bunt, trying to get Arrojo over to second, and with Goodwin's speed, no sure bet that he won't be safe at first. Looking down at Rich Donnelly, the third base coach. Make sure the bunt is still on. It isn't, and it's a line drive into the gap. Arrojo rounding second, heading for third. Junior trying to cut it off. They're going to wave Arrojo home. Goodwin might follow him. He'll stop at third with a triple. Goodwin almost caught Arrojo on the base pass. Junior couldn't catch up to it until it went to the track.
This ball, I think, was hit harder than Junior thought it was. Watch him go. You want to see some speed. Goodwin's got it. I'd like to watch the foot race of he and Hunter. These guys the Rockies have that can fly it. You just saw him in the front of your picture, only about 20 feet ahead of him. And whoa! He's got a 90-foot head start, but the gap got closed in a hurry.
With his speed, George, I bet you we see more than one inside the park home run from Goodwin this year.
Well, it could happen in there if Junior doesn't slap the ball down and able to stop it there. It could have been one. For Goodwin again.
So Arrojo scores to make it 2-1 Rockies. Lansing sprays it foul. Stays alive at 0-2. Lansing a single his last time up. That was the play where a little roller up the line. Young got it. Casual to the bag. Lansing, though, did get a break on the call. Infield single for Laser. who to watch there. Was it Junior going for the ball or Goodwin going around the bases? Man.
Well, I was trying to watch Arrojo because I didn't want him to get past.
Lansing gives it a ride. Deep left field. Back goes Tucker. Forget about it. Gone. Here come the Bombers. 2-run homer, Lansing.
Well, this is a pitch that Steve Paris would like to take back. A fastball. Look at the slider. A slider hung right smack in the middle of the plate. Belt high for laser. His eyes had to get big. Look at it again from your home plate US West cam. Right smack in the middle. As soon as he did it, Laser knew it. Paris knew it.
So Lansing who hit his first major league home run at Mile High Stadium. Homers here, and the Rockies now in front 4-1. Here's Larry Walker. Walker gives it a ride. That one's going to drop for a hit. 4 straight hits now for the Rockies. And Paris right now is starting to all of a sudden struggle. This comes off a 7-pitch inning for Paris in the 4th, and the Rockies roughing him up. Remember Arrojo with that long foul ball. Then he followed with the single, the triple by Goodwin, the home run by Lansing, and the single by Walker. Hector Mercado starting to warm up for the Reds in their bullpen.
Gullett out on the mound right now, just trying to buy a little bit of time because it was Paris who was cruising along. Not very many pitches. Now that pitch count up to 81 here in the bottom half of the 5th inning, and the base hits, the consecutive base hits, 4 of those. 2 singles, a triple, and a home run, and go out and try to buy some time to get Mercado loose down in the bullpen.
You wonder if those 2 long at-bats by Helton and all the pitches Paris has thrown starting to take their toll.
Well, that and the pitch up in the count. I mean, you look at the pitches that have been hit and hit hard. Have been pitches up out of the strike zone, and I'm sure that's what Gullett was out to tell him, was saying, hey, your ball, all of a sudden you were down in the strike zone, now you're up in the zone. Just get refocused and get down.
Is that because maybe he's a little tired? You've talked about it before.
Yeah, exactly.
Your legs start getting a little tired, pitches come up.
Your legs get tired, your arm's tired, you try to maybe not spin the ball as much, your arm doesn't catch up. Again, too, it's an adjustment. It's a feel period for a guy that's not a power pitcher. When you come to Coors Field to get the feel for the slider, and he had the feel the first 2 or 3 innings, and obviously has lost it here, the hanging slider.
Outside, 1-1 to Cirillo. He's doubled and scored today, robbed of a hit by Junior back in the 3rd.
Yeah, the 2-2 fastball that he hit back up the middle for a base hit that first at bat, and on an 0-1 count, hit a knuckleball to center that Griffey was able to play off to his side.
Rockies a little bit of everything offensively today. They had those 2 infield hits, the triple from Goodwin, a near home run from Arrojo, the home run from Lansing, and the doubles by Cirillo and Bragg. The count now 3-0 to Cirillo. Cirillo looking down to see if the take sign is on. Nobody out and a runner at first, and 3 runs in here in the 5th. He was taking, and he takes a strike at the knees. The Braves still lead the Cubs 3-0. Galarraga's 4th home run today. Chipper Jones his 1st. That game in the 8th inning at Wrigley. Here it's 4-1 Rockies in the 5th. Outside, ball 4. Cirillo with the walk. That'll push Larry Walker down to 2nd. And it looks like there's going to be a double switch here. As the Reds are going to make a pitching change, Don Gullett will go out to the mound on the double switch. Going out to left field will be Alex Ochoa. He'll take over for Tucker in left, and Steve Paris does not get a man out in the 5th inning, and he exits stage left. So out goes Steve Paris. In comes Mercado. We have a pitching change, and we'll be back.
Thanks, man.
Well, when I got hurt in this work, thought I had supplemental insurance.
Supplemental insurance? What's that? Aflac.
Well, even best insurance doesn't give you cash to cover things like lost pay, other expenses. This does.
What does? Aflac.
Should ask about it at work.
Really? And what's it called? Aflac!
Aflac. Without it, no insurance is complete.
Aflac.
There's a lot of reasons why so many people who take care of their cars turn to AutoZone each week. The low prices on the replacement parts they really need, and the large selection of the things they simply want. But most of all, they come to AutoZone because of the helpful, friendly people who work there. The kind of folks who know their stuff and who'll go the extra mile to help you out. Because after all, taking pride in taking care of people is what AutoZone is all about.
Well, Larry Walker standing at second base. Over at first, Cirillo. Rockies, 5 straight batters reaching base here in the 5th inning. Lead 4-1, still nobody out with 2 aboard. Rockies baseball brought to you by U.S. West Wireless, the simpler way to stay in touch. Speaking of U.S. West, they bring us a new pitcher for the Reds. He is Hector Mercado, who made his major league debut last Tuesday.
Left-hander's got a pretty good slider, and he'll change up. Tough on lefties. He's pitched 4 innings, a very high earned run average of 11.25. Well, part of that, he's given up 3 hits. 2 of those have been home runs. He struck out 5 in 4 innings. Given up 5 earned runs. He's walked a couple of batters, the opposition, hitting just .214, but talked about it, the home runs in his first outing, 2 of them.
Paris scratching his head over in the Reds dugout. He was sailing along through 4, gave up just the 1 run in the 2nd, retired the Rockies on 7 pitches in the 4th, and then Arrojo got to him, followed by Goodwin, Lansing, Walker, and Cirillo chases him with the walk. Strike 1 here to Todd Helton. Helton 0 for 2 so far today. All the Rockies facing Mercado for the first time.
First time he's pitched at the major league level. Last year he only made a couple of starts with the Mets AAA affiliate. 98, he missed the entire season with an elbow surgery.
Elton had a rip at that one. Kind of got a little confab at the mound here, Mercado. Tim McClellan will pay a visit. Something to do with pant leg. Not exactly sure what, but he adjusted the pant leg. Make it more uniform. Like the shooter at the free throw line in basketball. Tuck your jersey in. Fly ball left center field. Pretty well hit. Griffey going back, making the play. Ochoa on the warning track. Walker goes back to tag. He'll go to third.
Ochoa, who just came into the ball game, makes Very good play on a ball hit a long ways. He tracks this ball all the way out to the wall with the basket catch, then turns around and gets the ball back in. Walker heads up base running. He's at third base now, just one out. Opportunity for Bragg to get his second RBI in the ball game.
Saw a shot of Cirillo, a little bit upset with himself for not taking second and following Walker's lead. Here's Darren Bragg now. Cirillo still at first base. Bragg, the batter, he has an RBI today on a double. Walker going back, tagging at second. He's at third. Bragg needs fly ball to get him home. A funny move to first base by Hector Mercado. And Cirillo's not taking a huge lead anyway. One strike to Bragg. Kind of put our producer Mike Helling in a bit of a pickle here in the fifth inning. He doesn't know what to show going to break. Arrojo's hit. Is it the triple by Goodwin or the home run by Lanza?
He has some choices. Maybe we'll see all three.
Maybe we haven't seen the highlight yet. He really put the pressure on him now to show all three. Two balls and a strike to Bragg. Darren Bragg, the question mark surrounding him in the spring concerned a knee and operation last year. He kept saying, I'm fine. Everybody's so worried about him. Boy, the last week he put on a spurt. Rockies realized he was fine. Hitting .313 right now. One of 19 newcomers on this team. Well, they've got Walker pinned up now between home and third. They'll try to stay in the rundown long enough to allow Cirillo to get to the bag, and now they've got Walker. And that's exactly what happens. Walker coming home on a suicide squeeze. Bragg does not make contact.
I give an A for credit, at least trying something. You know, with the suicide squeeze, in 2.5 years as an announcer for the Rockies, I've never seen him try a suicide squeeze. Dave, you've been here a little longer. Bragg is typically a pretty good bunter.
I'm really surprised. If it was a suicide squeeze, why was Bragg pulling his bat back? He must have missed a signal.
Miscommunication.
He thought maybe it was a safety squeeze, not the suicide squeeze. But Walker, you could see from that replay, was just coming. So Bragg doesn't get the bunt down, doesn't even attempt to get the bunt down, and Walker, no chance. And Bragg, well, he makes up for it. If he did make a mistake, and we don't know because we don't know the signs, but if he did, he comes through anyway and gets the single to score Cirillo. And credit Walker, too, for staying in that rundown long enough to get Cirillo to third.
That leaves you a choice. If the defense is chasing Walker and they see the runner coming, then you're able to make the throw and try to attempt to get the next runner coming and go back after Walker. Good piece of hitting by Bragg. His fastball down and a strike zone very low, facing a left-handed pitcher in Mercado, and he gets the base hit and drives in the run.
So it's 5-1 now. Bragg on at first. Nepi Perez the batter. Perez batting right-handed for the first time in this game. One ball, one strike. The Rockies with a 4 spot here in the 5th. stays fair. It's trouble. Bichette goes into the corner and makes the grab. Nice play by Dante Bichette. But the Rockies come up with 4 runs here in the 5th. What an inning it was. And Mike Elling does come through with all the replays. Arrojo, good one, and Lansing combining, and the Rockies lead it 5-1. Now the highlight for the Reds is an individual one. What an honor for Ken Griffey Jr. and an honor for us to witness it. His career 400th home run. It came back in the 4th inning and tied the game at that point 1-1. But the Rockies then explode for 4 in the 5th and lead 5-1. Rolando Arrojo now will go after Ochoa, Steins, and Larkin here in the 6th inning.
Ochoa has been a nice surprise for the Reds since season started, hitting .357 with a couple of home runs, 4 RBIs, and a stolen base. A nice catch back in the bottom half of the 5th inning on a deep drive.
Already crowded in that outfield for the Reds, George. Deion Sanders on the disabled list. Is there ever room for Neon Deion?
It's tough to keep his feet out of it. Like Ken Griffey Sr. said before the game today, even with bad legs, they're better legs than most guys have in the big leagues.
Yeah, you're
He
right.
can really go cover some ground and help them out there, plus offensively with his speed.
Yeah, you could insert late in the game for defensive purposes and also put him on the base paths and create havoc.
Absolutely.
And who do you release amongst the guys they've got out there? Line drive. Ochoa keeps hitting. As he leads things off for the Reds in the 6th with a single. Now Kaufman's Solid Big Man Shop has it all for the tall, big, and athletically built man. I'm sure Buddy Bell has to like what he has seen so far in his Coors Field debut.
Well, he's probably sitting there, well, the nightmares I heard. No, wait a minute, it's usually 10-9 by now. Well, not when you're getting this kind of pitching from Arrojo. He's doing a nice job getting ahead of the hitters. The ball's down in the strike zone.
But everything he has heard or read or seen about this place, he knows this one a long way from being over. Steins, he came in for Pokey Reese. Reese had to leave with a contusion above his left elbow. He was hit by an Arrojo pitch back in the 3rd. Ochoa getting his lead at first base. Arrojo picked off Pokey Reese at first. 1 ball, 1 strike to Steins. I know you remember it, that series that Steins had against the Rockies. It seemed like he led off every game of that series with a home run. High fly ball. Walker coming over for a look, but it drifts into the seats. Sellout crowd on hand for opening day. Coors Field, they've been delighted by these remodeled Rockies. They lead 5-1. The Rockies about hit the Reds 9-4. Foul ball.
Follow Walker and see where he heads here as he goes after the ball. Then there's a young mother with her baby.
Oh, yes. Baby of his own. His 2nd child. Two balls, 2 strikes. Just missed. 3-2. We'll see what they do with Ochoa. Trailing 4. You put him in motion here. out in front of that one?
Just a little bit. I'm looking down in the camera well to see who caught that ball, and not with his hands.
Some of those newspaper photographers are now starting to cheer for robo-cams for themselves. Choa leading at first. There he goes. Down the line again, yanked foul.
And I think it's important right now for Arrojo. His ball club just scored 4 in the bottom of the 5th. This is where he has ran into trouble predominantly throughout his career as in this type of situation in the 5th, 6th, and 7th innings. So for Arrojo, he needs to get back in here and get a ground ball double play again, or at least get the out of Stein. Stein's worked it to 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Choa not going, and a foul ball just wide of the bag. How wide? This from the RoboCam.
It's a pretty nice look. I think fans at home really enjoy some of the shots you will get from the RoboCam. That ball about 1.5 foot out of the third baseline.
Bouncing ball in the hole. Choa was on the move. He'll stop at second anyway. But a single by Steins, and the Reds with back-to-back hits to begin the 6th.
Both players that have been inserted into the lineup after the ball game had started. Choa came in a double switch. He starts it out with a single, and then here comes Steins hitting .667 coming into the ball game today with a base hit out to left field right by Nafi Perez. Slider again, able to pick up that rotation on a 3-2 pitch. Steins able to get the base hit. Now you start getting into the part of that lineup with Larkin coming up now, Griffey following him. Be careful and make some pitches here with nobody out.
Barry Larkin 1 for 2. Junior on deck. Junior already a home run in this game. And remember, against Arrojo, Junior now 7 for 12 with 4 homers. Just missed inside. Ball 1 to Larkin. Up the middle, Goodwin, no. Throw to second, no. That'll load him up for Junior. Goodwin almost made the catch and then almost got Steins with a force at second.
Yeah, 3 singles. These balls have not been hit hard, but fought off. See, Larkin fights that ball off out into center field. Steins has hung up in between first and second, unable to go until he sees the ball drop. The stretch by Laser, closed the glove a little early, and the ball sneaks by him. Tough situation. Griffey at the plate, bases loaded. I'm sure Marcel Latchman out to tell him, hey, listen, you got a 5-1 lead. Let's go right after him. The last time you went with a pitch away, it cost you. He's also telling him, there's other things you can do to help yourself as a pitcher. Pick off at first. Main a pick off at third base if somebody gets too aggressive.
Well, his last at bat, Junior did this. Career home run number 400. It came with no one on. Now they're juiced. Into center field. Goodwin broke back. Now he comes in. Tagging at third and scoring is Ochoa. The Rockies throw to third to keep Steins at second. Well, Junior comes up with a sac fly RBI, and that makes it 5-2.
And you feel like you got out pretty lucky. With Junior up at the plate and the bases loaded and nobody out, that he would attack the first pitch thrown by Arrojo. I'll take it. 1 out and 1 run in. You still got a 5-2 lead, and Bichette coming up. Doesn't get any easier, does it?
No, it doesn't. Dante Bichette many home runs has he hit? Plenty. 110 in Denver alone. Bichette 0 for 2 off Arrojo. Up the middle, deflected by Arrojo. To Lansing, there's a double play. It'll go 1-6-4-3 in your scorecard. Perez and Lansing turn the trick again. The second double play for the Rockies. And the Rockies do escape with minimal damage. Just one for the Reds here in the sixth.
The Rockies escape with a 5-2 lead after the bases loaded, nobody out, Griffey up. Here's the pitch by Arrojo. A changeup down and away. Griff tries to lift it up into the outfield. That was the first out. Then Dante comes to the plate. Again, another good pitch, a slider down and away, hit right back at Arrojo. He takes it off with a bare hand. Looked like he hit right on the tips of his fingers. And off to Napi Perez in the double play to preserve a 5-2 lead for the Rockies. Nobody out, bases loaded, you give up one. Great job by Arrojo.
Arrojo, they were looking at his hand. You saw that ball from Bichette's bat go off the fingers. Arrojo being looked at by Doogie, one of the trainers.